Hey everybody, how you doing? Oh, okay, all right, good. Okay, my name is Elissa Blount Moorhead. My work is about the quiet nobility of quotidian Black life. I find mundanity profound. I embrace and emphasize it as a refusal of the subjection of the outside gaze. I'm an artist working in film and installation, and I'm an author and I make books. My creative capital project, as of a now, is a full-scale projection, 3D mapped onto a vacant row house, alongside augmented reality and other immersive technology. It highlights artifacts from its former Black occupants and their now erased cultural memory. My film depicts the familiar rituals of 3 Black families in 3 periods over a 100-year span. It explores the question, how can stories that are attached to objects and now abandoned buildings live beyond their material vessels? I'm trying to move augmented atoms from then to now, from canvas to film. As of now is the connective tissue, leveraging people and space with story and collective memory. Imagine a cross-section, X-ray view of a vacant building. You're watching the poignant everydayness, not the comedic, not the dramatic performance of Black humanity. It's set in a space that is now deemed blighted and without a past. My aim is to help audiences remember themselves and give voice to the remaining communal memories. Deliberate divestment and aggressive gentrification move people away from these centers and these carriers of culture. As of now, makes our coded expression legible by embedding its meanings into the original sites. These are our ghosts that represent our astonishing grace. All of the cities that made me are being rendered unrecognizable to me. The Bronx, where I was born alongside hip hop. The chocolate city that raised me. Remember those side-by-side pictures? Bed-Stuy, where my family has been for 4 generations and where I chose to raise my children, all slowly eroding to me. I now see myself and a future in Baltimore, my new home. And it's, come on, clap it up. Despite displacement and vacancy, Baltimore still holds its own memory in its people and its space. These ghosts are speaking to me. I've been very inspired by Gordon Matta Clark's work and his ideas of ana-architecture and buildings as umbilical cords. His work kept bringing me back to the alleged vacancy in Baltimore. And then I too started forming questions around the gaps, the voids, the leftovers in the context of a Black city dweller. I'm looking for the vestiges of our private lived experiences, like how we cut loose, how we give care, how we pageant. That's my great-grandfather, by the way, on a motorcycle. How we mark time, our fellowship, and the ways that we center ourselves. In making this film over the last 2 years, I spent time researching and making study models in different iterations, mining oral histories. I was also working with animators and artists, in particular here, this is Ryan Patterson, hand-cut paper illustrator, in an attempt to bridge fantasy and archive. I've been investigating contested sites like this one on North Avenue in Baltimore at the crossroads of impending gentrification, directly across the street from a recently demolished public housing project. You can guess what it's making way for. And I've also spent most of that time developing the film narrative. It's about a boy who's ambivalent about slipping between the living world and the ancestor world. He spends time repeatedly dying and being reborn. He acts as a harbinger for disruption of this domestic peace from the outside world and all the chaos that comes with it. For the installations, I've built a half-scale replica row home, and that's what I've been touring. It's been in 2 light festivals in New Orleans and then in Baltimore. I also made a book to sort of counter the impermanence of the exhibition with something that was more permanent. I issued a call to artists, thinkers, activists, community folks, photographers, rappers to respond in any way, in any medium, to this prompt and the idea of erasure. The responses culminated in a collaborative book created with Press, a community publishing studio. This is some sample layouts that ended up in the book. I'll have a handy-dandy version if you're around later. So thanks to the tremendous and undying support from Robert W. Deutsch Foundation, Rest in Power, Robert W. Deutsch, Saul Zaentz Foundation, not the foundation, Rest in Power, Robert Deutsch, Saul Zaentz Foundation and their incubation program, the Rubies, T. Rowe Price, and the Strauss Foundation, I was able to complete this first phase, which was the film. It's a 16-minute film. And so now, I'm looking for cash to do the next iteration. That's Amir Lewis, an editor. He costs money, so we're there making it rain. We're looking for $350,000 and partners to help me develop the immersive elements and finally mount this work in sight on the building in Baltimore and future sites. But equally important to me, a working parent, is concentrated time through labs, incubators, and time with partners and residencies to develop the next phase and identify technology partners. I'm particularly grateful to Creative Capital for being this catalytic force in this way. And I'm also looking for publishers and printers to create accompanying books with me. These books, for me, are very specific repositories for enduring community stories and proof that we were and still are here. Thank you.